So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the learnings we've had throughout this project and what each of the team members have experienced and learned in the last couple months. For me, it's been a great experience. It's been great to communicate with everybody on this team and learn. For me, the most crucial thing is flexing to other people's personalities and their behaviors. Flexing is something that we learned that really teaches us to adapt to other people's personality, their behavior, and really get the best out of conversations and ultimately working with them to the right result.
Hey, thanks, Chris. This is Karen. And what I've learned from this project is what I would call leadership in a lab. And I want to just kind of follow on what Kurt said. So he mentioned that we all have different styles, and that is true in terms of leadership as well. So some people lead by organizing, some by advocacy or inquiry, some by reflecting quietly, and then coming out with a really great, strong idea. So we learned early, how to flex styles, and we also learned early how to flex to the various leadership styles.
This is Kelly. So what I've learned is the importance of continually seeking feedback and not waiting for scheduled check-ins. So when you proactively seek feedback, you get confirmation that you're on the right path, or if you get input early, you have time to absorb the feedback and make adjustments without having to course correct at the last minute. And more often than not, you'll actually achieve a better outcome.
Hi, this is Kevin. I just want to build a little bit on what Kurt said about flexing. One of the keys that I think I've learned from this project is setting up operating mechanisms that allow us to come together as a team in as fast a way as possible. One key operating mechanism that we put in place was the ability to assign an observer role for every meeting. That person would observe the communications between individuals and as a group, and then provide feedback so that we could grow as a team as fast as possible. By actually implementing that observer role, one of the things that we were able to do was really focus and keep the fact of the tools of flexing kind of at the top of our minds, and able to implement it and use it because we knew that someone was observing. It kept everyone on their best behavior in a sense, but it allowed us to come together as a team very quickly, simply because we had the observer role there the whole time.
Hi, this is Bill. The key learning for me is that there's really no one silver bullet. It's a collection of tools, and practicing those tools, really. Learning how to balance between when to assert yourself, when to hang back, when to encourage your teammates to assert or to hang back. You have heard the word flexibility quite a bit as well, and that was certainly a key to kind of pulling it all together. We all had very busy schedules, and being flexible in how we approached our meetings, how we divided the work, and how we worked together for a common outcome.
Thanks, Bill. This is Amanda, and I would just add that I'm really glad that as a team we decided to really focus on the customer and our solution. So I personally really appreciated the chance to get a glimpse into the Design for Delight process. As a member of the corporate affairs team, I don't often have the opportunity to interact with customers and to hear about how changes in our products or service may impact them. I thoroughly enjoyed our day talking to customers, and I will definitely call upon those learnings as I'm working in my world on potential changes in the regulatory environment and how they could impact customers. So I think we all agree that we had a lot of great learnings. One of our biggest learnings is definitely around working remotely. Melissa and Joe told us right off the bat that ours was one of the most remote LDP teams in history. We have team members from San Diego, Woodland Hills, Mountain View, and, of course, Washington, D.C. So we developed some very specific learnings about how to be productive as a remote team, and we want to share those with you.
So first of all, building trust was essential. We were very tentative initially. We were both concerned about how we would show up. We were also concerned about how all of our teammates would show up. The style flexing workshop we had gave us a tool that we could use to bring each other into the conversation without steamrolling over each other. Once we used the tool a few times, we were able to really establish trust and work independently, but with common purpose. So the leadership learning we gain from this is that as leaders, we need to learn how to build trust very, very quickly, because we aren't always going to have a couple of months to form as a team.
So as Bill said, building a foundation of trust was critical to our success. We haven't had a lot of opportunities to interact in person, so having common language and tools that we could all leverage has been instrumental in enabling us to be flexible and adjust to each other's work styles, which I think has really helped us avoid the churn and side conversations that can actually derail a project.
And another thing that we learned was how to be present and to engage in the process. One of the ways that we were able to do that was through the use of webcams. What can I say about webcams? Maybe use them appropriately. Or maybe just they allow you to get an additional level of information. You're not just hearing someone's voice, but you're always getting, you're also getting their facial features, you're getting their reaction, body language. The webcams were a great tool that we used in order for the team to come together and to create a virtual environment where we could meet and get more than we would out of just a simple conversation.
Another one of our learnings was just to avoid silos. So as Amanda mentioned, we were very remote, but we did have a couple of people in a couple of locations, and so it would have been kind of natural to just move forward the people that we felt most comfortable working with. But we learned pretty quickly that that really wouldn't help us move our project along. So we ensured that when we formed small teams that we did that across site, and this improved our remote working learnings as well as just helped us broaden our perspective.
Yeah, and so I would add that respect is definitely a critical part of working in a remote team. We had unique challenges to keep in mind, from different time zones to mission-critical deadlines that we each had to deal with in our day-to-day jobs. The most important part of our leadership journey in the LDP was understanding and respecting each other's schedules. Bill and Kelly mentioned it. We built trust in the group, and as we did that, we began to rely on one another to chip in and fill in the gaps when one of us was called away on another important project.
Yeah, I think to underline that, we had to set some ground rules at the beginning to really give everybody the flexibility they needed to get through this time. We all had lots of projects, a lot of work. That was our day job, and to still be able to meet these deadlines, we really had to, as we mentioned before, be flexible with our time and really share a lot of the workload and doing that in a respectful manner. It's probably one of the most efficient ways for us to help each other out.